I'm kind of wondering if this is what people who don't like newer Panic at the Disco feel like. I've been an emo kid for a long time. I've listened to a lot of records. I've checked out most of the biggest albums of all time, and any of the largest bands in this emo pop punk scene. I've definitely heard all the major ones. But there have been a few that have fallen under my radar and I never got around to listening to. Maybe the album just wasn't considered that good. Maybe the album just came out at a time that I wasn't paying attention. So I wanted to take some time and actually sit down and listen to a record that I missed from one of the biggest bands in the emo scene, Fall Out Boy's American Beauty, American Psycho. This record was after the hiatus, the well-known Fall Out Boy hiatus, and I never really got into anything after Save Rock and Roll, just because I didn't think it was terribly good. And in the case of American Beauty, like obviously they had two major singles from it. They had Centuries, they had Uma Thurman. They were on the radio. They're still on the radio. They're played at every sports game. They're played every time that you even see a sport. And I always thought like, okay, that's not really my thing. But what if I actually made a mistake here? What if there are some hidden gems on this that I have allowed to go unheard by me? I know some of the singles. I know some of the songs. I've heard a couple of them before. But there's a lot of songs on here that I have not heard at all. So we're going to sit down, we're going to listen to it, I'm going to give my thoughts, and I'm going to give my overall feeling on this record. Before we get into it, if this is your first time here, hi, I'm Brian with the Emo Social Club. Make sure to subscribe if you like videos about emo music, and check out our podcast, the Emo Social Club podcast. We interview a bunch of bands, we talk about a lot of music, we get to know a lot of the people behind all the stuff that you love, so make sure to listen. Make sure to check it out. It's one of the best. So yeah, let's start listening to it. This is Irresistible. This is the music video with Demi Lovato, and I don't know if Demi was actually on the original, but this is the one I'm going to listen to. It's irresistible. Yeah, so I don't want to act like I don't like the pop sound that they do in some of this stuff, because it is really catchy. It is very entertaining to listen to, but there's so many times where I find myself wanting to sing along, and it like kind of cuts out of that poppy sound to it, that poppy sense. I feel like the verses are just always way too many words, but it's a pop song, so they shouldn't be too many words. Like if they want to do the Fall Out Boy stuff, do the Fall Out Boy stuff and not a pop song. And then like there's so many like breaks going into the choruses that like it feels like you're like cutting the momentum that you're getting into. I don't know. It's like, I like the chorus. I just don't really like none of it sticks with me. I've heard this song multiple times and I could not remember it going into it this time either. Like it just feels so it just doesn't feel like anything. It's when we were growing up and you had like bubblegum pop, and that was like the Britney Spearses and the Christina Aguileras, which are great now, and by no means am I against them at all. But you would listen to that and you say, this is bubblegum, and it's like, it's sugar, but it's no substance. And you would listen to rock music to kind of take you away from that same sense. But here, like I'm getting bubblegum from Fall Out Boy, and I'm trying to look for where there's more in there, and I just don't get it, man. I'm going into this with an open mind. All right, the next song is American Beauty, American Psycho, title track. I don't think I've heard this song before. Okay, yeah, I don't get this. Like the chorus is just not catchy at all. I think the verse was a little bit more catchy in this one. Like it had a little bit more of that like Fall Out Boy lyricism and that Fall Out Boy catchiness of the verse and saying all these words together and whatever. But then it gets to the chorus and it's just not catchy. Like that's not a catchy chorus. Oh, not catchy. This was kind of like what happened, right? Like they couldn't do the same catchy choruses they did before, and I don't get it, because there are so many songs that they've written where like as soon as you hear it, you like are singing along with the whole thing. And no matter what band you are, no matter how long you've had a career, that's just kind of the point. That's kind of just what you do. I don't know. Even Save Rock and Roll had more choruses than this. It's weird. All right, we're getting into Centuries. I know this song very well. It's been on the radio. It's still played everywhere. But I'm going to really listen to it again and think about what I think about it now. And again, with an open mind. I've come around quite a bit to this chorus. I'm going to say I was very meh on this song for a long time, as I'm sure a lot of old Fall Out Boy fans were, you know, like this is not their best. This is the hockey game tournament game sports stadium anthem, both in just sound, both in lyrics, in every bit of it. It's just kind of made for a sports event. It's not made for a concert going crowd that wants to sing emo songs, which, okay, good for you, Fall Out Boy. My issue still stands with the verses in this. The verses are just rough to me. Patrick singing at the top of his register and just kind of like, Patrick is a great singer, and he spends a lot of the verses just kind of sounding screechy on this one. And it just it has never hit with me. Okay, get back to the chorus and do that little I Dream of Jeannie sample in there to get me there. I'm a little bit more open to it now than I probably ever have been, but yeah, it's still just meh. Now we're going to listen to a lot more of the songs I don't know. These are a lot more of the like B-sides, the non-singles, the non-radio hits. As far as I know, I don't really know these ones. I may have caught them as a friend may have put it on one time, but I don't really have any strong memory of any of these songs. I'm kind of wondering if this is what people who don't like newer Panic at the Disco feel like. I'm a fan of new Panic at the Disco, and so whenever anyone says, nah, I don't really like this stuff, I'm like, I don't really feel the same way. But then I heard this song. I went into this song and I was like, okay, I'm kind of head bobbing, I'm kind of foot tapping, you know, I'm feeling this verse. I think that's a pattern that's going on. I'm really feeling like a verse and then not a chorus, and then a chorus and not a verse. I don't know why Fall Out Boy can't just like attach them together. In this case, I really liked the verse going into it, and then as soon as it got to the chorus, my immediate thought is this is some Katy Perry ass bullshit. And it just got to that halftime beat, and it just felt really boring and sloggy. And I thought that the verses really gave a chance to like get to a really nice build up for the chorus, and it just fucking let me down. Yeah, I'm not happy with this song. The song is very meh to me. That chorus, man, just, you let me down, dude. All right, I lied about not knowing a bunch of the next ones, because now we're gonna listen to Uma Thurman, which my mind is open. Yeah, this song just is not, it's just nothing to me. Like the words don't stick with me. Like obviously I know this song because I've heard it like 100,000 times, but my biggest thing about Fall Out Boy in the past versus Fall Out Boy when they're doing this kind of stuff is the context of what is happening in the song, and like the words going together with the sounds, with the samples, with all of this stuff, like all equaling the bigger picture, right? And this song being like the biggest example to me of that, it all doesn't fit together. It all just is happening, and it all feels disjointed, and it all feels like there's the possibility of a very good song in there, and we're just skipping over it to get to like these little tricks and these little memory things and these little, ooh, look at this now. It doesn't affect me in the way that some of their older stuff did. It doesn't feel like anything. It just feels empty. This feels very bubblegum, a lot like Irresistible did. I just don't care about it at all. I'm going to hear this at their shows, and I'm still going to sing along to it, and everyone's going to call me a goddamn liar, con artist, faker, fake fan. Jetpack Blues. Let's go. Yeah, this one kind of suffers from the same issue of like, this just sounds like another like Panic at the Disco type song. Why is this so boring to me? This had the same thing with like the verse and the chorus just like not really leading anywhere, and it's just like this sort of like slow halftime sort of like Yeah, like plotting beat sort of thing. I don't really know what to call it. Like it's not fast, but it's not slow, right? Like mid tempo and like like big beat, just like stepping down. My biggest thing is that it's not testing you. It's not pushing you to like experience anything. It's just sort of there, right? This is a term I'm coming up with. I'm gonna call it the Modern Family effect. It wins awards, but it's not really challenging anything. No one hates Modern Family. You might not love it, but no one hates Modern Family. But it's just kind of there, and like if it's on, you'll watch it. I am so excited for all of my my Fall Out Boy friends, my stans that are close to me, to hear me refer to their favorite band as Modern Family. Gonna get eaten up in the comments. This one is called Novocaine. This song basically just sounds like the Phoenix from Save Rock and Roll. Like it doesn't do anything that song didn't already do. It just feels like it's like trying to do this like rock disco type sound with the chorus, and it's just trying to be like sort of a jump up and down type song. And I think what really bothered me around this era of Fall Out Boy was like, you can do that with pop punk, man. I mean, the lyrics, I'm like, I don't identify with any of them. None of them stuck with me from this. I don't know what Fall Out Boy is trying to get me to feel from this record. Fall Out Boy gave me feelings, gave me experiences with older records that I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is so good, and I get it, and I'm just like letting this emotion just wash over me. And with so many of these songs, I'm like, is the emotion sport? Like what is the feeling I'm getting evoked out of me or out of the song? Is it sport? Is it championship? Is it athleticism? I don't know. There's a lot of these songs, like this one especially, I could definitely hear like an announcer's voice behind it, like, well, he's doing really good in the second half, and you know, we expect that he's going to do more points in the next one. I am not a fan of the artist who writes songs that are played while the announcer is discussing the sport. All right, this song's called 4th of July. Yeah, let's go. I mean this. I literally thought this was the same as the last song. I was like, did I just press the same song over again? It just keeps doing the same like mid-tempo thing, and just the drums like don't go anywhere, and it's just like I noticed during the bridge, I liked the bridge on this one a bit, and I just thought if this tempo was just raised slightly, I think it just would have so much more energy. But like you put two songs back to back on here, and then you had the other one earlier where you're just doing the same beats, you're doing the same feel, you're doing the same vocal work. It's just, you did this song already. I don't remember like Fall Out Boy pre-hiatus, even in the Take This to Your Grave era, doing songs that were like similar to other songs on the same record. Say what you will about pop punk, it's all pretty derivative, but certainly Fall Out Boy was never derivative of themselves. And in this case, I feel like Fall Out Boy found this formula and just kept doing it even on the same record. And the only other band that I know like that really like pissed me off was Nickelback. So I feel like I'm somehow comparing Fall Out Boy to some of the things that will just definitely piss people off. I love Nickelback, by the way. If I listened to a full Nickelback record, I'd be like, okay, this is all one song. I would never do that. I would listen to multiple singles, and then I'd go, okay, we're moving on now. Because Nickelback is also exhausting. And I just, it's very strange that something that has almost no energy behind it feels so exhausting to listen to. This song is called Favorite Record. If this is your favorite record, let me know. And I'm sorry. I thought this one was going to start off a little bit stronger. I really liked the beginning and the way the guitar chords and all the sampling and all that. I really liked the sound of this at the beginning, and then it just it just fell apart. I don't think this is the worst one I've heard so far. I think this is a bit better than some of the other ones. There's that weird vocal like effect on the favorite record part where they're calling out favorite record. I think that's what it says because it's in some weird robot voice. I feel like on other Fall Out Boy records, like Save Rock and Roll even, or Foley, like that would have been a feature, right? That would have been somebody just singing in their normal voice doing a feature on this. So yeah, not the worst, not my favorite record. And for a band who has a song off their first record where they literally in the chorus say, "I know I'm not your favorite record," like was that what it was? It's not that. Fall Out Boy is a band that references Fall Out Boy a lot. They do all kinds of references to their own music, to their own songs, to their own legacy. They have the Fall Out Boy "See You" in their music videos, and they call the song favorite record, and they didn't just do like a voice for Dead on Arrival. What a missed opportunity. How much would that have meant to your fans, you know? Immortals, I have heard this song before. I don't remember it very well. I will say, though, I did like Big Hero 6 quite a bit. So, the movie's good. I don't want to be too insanely harsh on this because it is for a soundtrack to a Disney movie, so it is what it is. Like, doesn't have to be high art. Doesn't have to be the greatest song of their career, and that's fine. It just has to be for kids, and it has to be for Disney. There's a couple parts in here where Immortals is not a good word to hold it out, and Patrick Stump doing a run on Immortals just makes it feel like it's flat, and it doesn't sound great to me. I don't know where it all went wrong, but like, why are you doing the run on the word Immortals? You don't have to. That sounds like something that was like decided by committee, not by Patrick Stump, a fantastic songwriter, except for Fall Out Boy. But yeah, it just ends up sounding flat, and it ends up like sounding just like I'm not enjoying this chorus. The chorus. I feel like I did go harsh on it, considering that I said I wasn't going to go that harsh on it. But in the end, it's just not for me. I have heard this song before. This is one of my co-host Lizzie's favorite songs from this record, from Fall Out Boy's discography, the Fall Out Boy oeuvre. She has played on when we were doing like DJ streams for the pandemic. We were actually doing them because we were in support of the pandemic, and we were like, let's keep this going. Let's do some DJ sets. We got to get our numbers up. But I have heard this one before. I feel like I have enjoyed it a little bit, so we'll see. This one certainly is not the worst of all of them. But as soon as like the drums came in, I'm like, ooh, there's that drum beat again. There we are. That's this record again. It like I said, that there's like this pattern, there's this repeating thing that they do where it just feels like every verse that Patrick is singing just ends up being like, and it's like, what? Okay, you did that once. But like, is that every verse now? Is that what we have for every verse? It just feels like a waste. It just feels so low energy and just feels so like you're dragging me through this record right now. You're pulling me in this chair just through the record with my hands back and just weighted down. Anyway, this one wasn't the worst. I went into this record trying to be as open-minded as possible and thinking, maybe I missed out on some gems here. Maybe the B-sides are not like the singles. Maybe Uma Thurman in Centuries really has destroyed the way that I think about this record, and I have no idea. I have no idea what's sitting in there. It could be a treasure trove, a gold mine, and it wasn't. This record just feels like one of the reasons why Fall Out Boy's post-hiatus stuff just doesn't feel as exciting and energetic as their older stuff. And it's you're playing the same songs over and over again. Even the songs that I've heard on this record before, I just feel are just so forgettable forgettable and they just sort of blend together. Anyway, I didn't love it. There's some okay moments. I've warmed up to the idea of like Uma Thurman over time. I've warmed up to the idea of Centuries as like their major songs from this record, but I would not generally say this is a record that I feel strongly towards. If Fall Out Boy spent more time on their live shows playing not stuff from this record. I think when I saw them recently, when they came around and we all were watching them at the stadiums, at the baseball fields, you know, they had to play some of these songs and it just felt like there's definitely an audience for this, but it's not as good. I would entertain the argument from anybody to say that anything on this record goes up against anything off of Cork Tree, Infinity, Take This to Your Grave, any of it. Yeah, so those are my thoughts. If you feel differently, if this is your favorite record, go ahead and drop it down in the comments. Let me know, argue with me. Obviously, if this is your favorite record, enjoy it. Listen to it all that you want. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to check out the podcast. Make sure to drop some other albums that maybe I missed. What are some other albums that I should check out that, you know, people didn't really love when they came out? And maybe I won't love now either. But yeah, this is Brian with the Emo Social Club, and I'll see you next time. Bye.